Okay, let's try this again. We had another network connection problem. This is episode 10. Thanks everybody for continuing to share and send us all your great comments. The day kind of got away from me today. I took a nice long nap and then actually was on the phone for a bit. So I did not realize it was so late until I started getting messages from folks asking if we were okay. So yes, we are okay. And we have some really big news, which is awesome. But while folks are joining, I'll go ahead and get a couple of the reminders and notes and stuff out of the way. Thank yous and all of that jazz. So thanks so much to Team Oklahoma for sending us some nice chocolate, to our friend Amy in Arizona for the grapefruit and lemons off of her tree. They were so juicy and delicious.
Man, so good.
So good. Rick said he doesn't usually like grapefruit, but he really liked those grapefruits. So really happy to see those. And also to our friends Levy and Angie down in Alabama for sending us a huge box of veggies from Misfits. So we're excited to go and see what is inside. I see Mary Lee's done her census. Thank you. A little quick shout out to the census. Make sure you do that. I know I received 2 things in the mail pretty close to each other. So I'm sure you guys are getting those too. I've seen lots of people circulating stuff about the small business owners, and the anxiety that they're feeling is real. And so my friend Monica with the Clean Plate Club here in Nashville is almost exclusively a caterer. Well, she is exclusively a caterer. They do lots of large and really unique events for weddings and industry, nonprofits, and that sort of thing. And they have just had to do an about face and they're providing some meals that folks can pre-order for pickup curbside with no contact, or they can arrange delivery. So if you're here in the Nashville area and looking for some ways to support small businesses, please stop whistling. You are whistling. Yes. Oh my God. Anyway, so the folks who are just trying to make adjustments so that they can keep their overhead expenses up, it's a very real issue. We have a friend here who is actually a manager with the Grilled Cheesery food truck, and they are actually looking for neighborhoods and places where folks would be willing to have the food trucks come, and they also can arrange no contact transactions. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to them directly, and hopefully we'll see them here in our neighborhood sometime next week. So if some of you, if any of the kids say that they're bored, you can let me know if I need to do a special broadcast for them, and I will go through a long list of things they can do to not be bored, that we will kick it from my childhood, and I will give them the long list of all the things that my family told me that I could do if I ever said I was bored when I was home from school. So I promise you that as soon as they hear some of the options, they'll find a way to entertain themselves and hopefully get out of your hair. So I think it was yesterday that Rick said he was ready to go back to work. I asked him if he wanted to play hotel, and he did not take me up on that. So, you know that he is still feeling much better. He is, the big news today is that when he talked to our BFF Josh, they cut him loose. So, if you caught the subtlety in the heading of this video, you know that I am still quarantined and self-isolating. But as of today, they have given Rick the okay to move about. So the first thing he did was put on Willie's harness and took him for a walk outside around the property. So again, this is his 14th day after his first day of symptoms. So I have a couple more days since I was a few days behind him. I think he said the 21st. So that's what we're looking at here. And let's see. Several people have asked us about Willie, and we have not done anything special. We've not kept Willie away from us. Like I said, he's a close talker, so he's always getting in my face. And really just because we often blow on him like any annoying pet parent would, we would catch ourselves and say, like, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, he's not showing any symptoms. The information that is on the Veterinary Medical Association has no reason to believe it could be transferred between us, but just wanted to give you an official update about him and say, other than literally losing his mind because he hasn't been able to go out and do all the sniffing and walking that we normally do to keep his mind stimulated, then he's okay. So it has been very, very tense here the last couple of days because it's also been raining, and so he's not wanting to stay outside in the back patio. I will say that our vet has been doing curbside service for folks, just in terms of trying to minimize the contact that folks are having, and so they're asking people if they have appointments or if they need to come in for supplies or something like that. They have modified their procedures in order to comply with the social distancing. They'll probably like it so much they won't want to keep it up after this, but you may see the same things coming from your veterinary offices, and if you haven't, maybe that's something that you can suggest to them, because we know that folks are still going to need to go ahead and give and take care of their furry ones. So big shout out to Elm Hill Veterinary Clinic and Dr. King. Hey, Dr. King, if you're watching, and just what they're doing to try to help keep folks protected and still just try to carry on as normally as they can. We have had people ask us, especially in the last few days, about how long the symptoms last, and specifically, how many days did you experience symptoms? And truly, Rick was experiencing symptoms and sickness for 12 days. So 12 days of his 14-day quarantine or self-isolation, he was really sick and not feeling well at all. And I just want to reiterate, our symptoms are still considered mild, even though he was hospitalized. He was mild. So just want to say that you can expect, I think, even if the symptoms are milder, that this is not something that goes away quickly, even if you just get a if you don't get it as severely as some others might do it. Thank you, Lori. Rick is now opening all kinds of papers, candy. I don't know what he's doing in there, but he can't be quiet if I get on the phone or a conference call. So now that he's feeling better, he's got to find every package that he can open in the background. Someone else asked about how we felt about the information we were given by the doctors and public health department when we received our diagnosis. And I guess we didn't really have any questions, and I don't know, I know that sounds kind of silly to say, but we already knew there were a lot of unknowns. And so what they gave us the information, they gave us the information sheet about how to try to keep other people safe, obviously, which was for us to stay home and not come. Rick. Oh my God. Spare. Mary Lee, I'm sending him to your house now that he is, he's free and you can put him to work down there with your crew. So we didn't really have any questions because they gave us this tip sheet for how to manage our symptoms. They gave us, the tip sheet about how to keep how to keep safe with contact with others, and even that was relevant to others in the household. And we were staying in touch with the folks at the public health department because they're the ones who are tracking the illness. So the difference in what they are designed to help you with is totally different. The doctors are there to help you with the symptoms and to make sure that you are staying, that you are managing the symptoms and that you don't need to come in for additional care. The folks that were working with us at the Department of Public Health, their job is to track the progression of this disease and to really be monitoring our symptoms to see what is it like for the people who are experiencing the illness, and also just to see, as is their job, how quickly it is spreading and what is the severity and the range of symptoms that people are having. So we just didn't really have a ton of questions, and we just saved our questions mostly for Josh, as you guys have provided them to us for the days that we did our check-in. I will give you a quick update on symptoms, which was just super weird. Last night I had a coughing fit for, I don't know, a couple of hours where I wasn't really doing anything extra. I was not up trying to exert any extra energy. We were actually watching a movie, and I had a coughing fit and just could not quite catch my breath. And it's a weird cough. So some of you've heard me on the phone, or you may have heard me in a couple of these videos. It's just a very dry, unproductive cough, and it seems, it almost sounds fake, or does sound fake. So it's interesting during this time to be starting to feel better, obviously, and to not be experiencing any worsening of symptoms. And then last night, all of a sudden, I'm coughing my head off and I could not catch my breath when I would start coughing. And so I had, of course, like freaked myself out and stayed up trying to see if something was happening to me before I kind of settled down and went to bed. But today, that's all been normal again. I've been taking the stairs, and we even finally moved some of the laundry upstairs, thank God, because it was really, really piling up, and we had some more laundry going through the washer and dryer. So even taking some of those things upstairs, I still didn't have to like lay down or anything. So that is good news. Also, after some reflection and maybe, I don't know why he was thinking about it today, Rick says his eyes did hurt when moving them from side to side, not his eyeballs. So someone had asked us if we'd had if our eyes had hurt, and I was describing that yesterday in the video, and he said he did have that symptom, and that's what he was feeling when he said his head was hurting so bad and that he couldn't get a grip on his headache. And I think I mentioned that was one of the reasons that we went to the IV hydration place, because they have a they have a treatment for migraines that is really effective. And so we had gone to try to get him some relief for his headache, because he wasn't, he was taking Tylenol and, drinking lots of water, and he just couldn't get any relief from the headache symptoms. So that's what he was feeling then. All right. So, I have met a new friend in Ireland through all of this, and she asked last night if there's anything that in particular that has helped to stay calm. And I just wanted to tell you what a few of those things are that I do, but I will just preface it by saying calm during crisis is literally one of my gifts. I don't know why, it just is. My dad was the same way, and so it's just one of those things that I am blessed to have gifted to me as part of my natural skills and talents. But some of the things that I do when I am feeling stressed out at times like these is that I turn off the news. I stopped watching the news years ago, seriously. We'll turn it on, obviously, like when the tornadoes were happening, we turned on the news to see what was going on. But even during those times, you can feel yourself getting ramped up by the coverage. And if you feel that, just turn it off and know that somebody who loves you will tell you if there's something you need to know. I promise it will happen just in the way that normal human communication works. And so that can be really helpful. If there are people on your news feed who are making you feel stressed out, who are sharing lots of crap, who are sharing, hey Deidre, how are you? Hope you're surviving up there. And that man's still staying in his house in Kentucky. Anyway, I think that that just snoozing people, you don't have to unfriend them unless you just want to. Use it as an opportunity to clean house. Or you can snooze people for 30 days. You can snooze a group for 30 days if there's a group that really has a lot of chaos going on in the mix. Or you can, of course, just unfollow them. You can always go back and follow people later on. But if I see one post from somebody who I can tell is just about to lose it, they get silenced for 30 days. So that tends to be how I handle that. And it really is effective. Someone asked for an update on my friend Kim. Kim is in Michigan. Kim is still not symptomatic, and she is happy that she is not having symptoms. Kim also would really she said she's so glad that she is home without symptoms than home with symptoms. And even though it has been, 7 or 8 days, actually, I guess it's been longer than that now, they've asked her to stay quarantined for the full 14 days, just as a safety precaution. And she's totally fine to comply with that. So that is great news. And, gosh, I think that is really just about it. We have had, if you can handle it, and I want to say that very clearly, if you can handle it, and you like a little bit of a thriller, and you want to see why we're all staying home, We watched an oldie but a goodie last night, the movie Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman, and Rene Russo, and Cuba Gooding Jr., Morgan Freeman. Anyway, it is an old movie. It is about an epidemic, so I would say if you are the least bit anxious or nervous, please do not watch that movie. But if you're one who can handle the thrill of something that could very much be real life, it was something that was just interesting to watch with a new perspective and a new frame of reference on things like that. So I think we watched it was it on Netflix? Yeah, I think it was on Netflix. So anyway, any questions over there? No. Rick is now my moderator for all the comments. So I see Anthony Caduceus, they just watched it on Sunday night. So it really is a good movie. And if you've never seen it before, I will let you know it has a good ending. So the spoiler alert there is that you can watch it and feel good at the end of it all. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks for continuing to share. We're just getting better day by day. Rick is so happy to be released and to be able to move about. Not that he has anywhere to go now. He's gotten totally dressed, and I said, where are you going to go, just for like a walkabout? He said he thought he might just go downtown, but I don't think he's going to do that for real. So anyway, we will keep an eye out for all of your questions, and we'll just keep you updated as we continue to get better on what has been, what we're experiencing and what we're being told and what kinds of questions that folks still have for us. So thanks again so much. I set up my camera so that I had a wider angle because I thought Willie would want to be in on it, and he is in a coma beside me. So maybe Willie will get some more screen time tomorrow. Thanks so much, everybody. Hope y'all have a great night. Bye.